terrorist attack on 22nd April 2025 in Pahalgam in Jammu and Kashmir, in which 25 Indians and one Nepali citizen were killed.
On May 7, 2025, the Indian Army launched Operation Sindoor, a deep strike surgical mission targeting 9 terrorist camps inside Pakistan and Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. This precise, non-escalatory operation was a direct response to the April 22 Pahalgam terror attack, where 4 militants brutally killed 25 Indian citizens and 1 foreign national, reportedly targeting them based on religion. The attack occurred while Prime Minister Narendra Modi was on a state visit to Saudi Arabia, prompting his immediate return amid rising tensions on the western border. The situation gained international attention, especially with US Vice President J.D. Vance visiting India during the same period. This incident marked a turning point in Indo-Pak relations, highlighting rising nuclear tensions, international diplomacy, and the power of narrative in the information age. In this video, we break down the key events, reactions, and global perspectives that shaped this rapidly evolving crisis. Just a day before Operation Sindoor, the Indian government issued directives for nationwide mock drills, aimed at testing emergency preparedness and operational coordination across major cities. These drills were carried out as planned, largely seen by the public as routine civil defense exercises, but within hours, the tone changed. As the nation slept, India launched Operation Sindoor under the cover of night, a covert and strategic retaliation targeting terror camps across the border. By morning, the country woke up not just to headlines, but to a sense of resolve, knowing that preparedness wasn't just a drill, but a real-time prelude to decisive national action. The timing of the drills and the overnight operation underscored one thing clearly: India was not only ready, but determined to act with precision, planning, and purpose. Following the terror attack in Pahalgam, often referred to as Mini Switzerland, India took a historic diplomatic step by placing the Indus Waters Treaty of 1960 in abeyance for the first time in decades. What does this mean? India has suspended the sharing of Indus River waters with Pakistan. This means New Delhi is no longer obligated to inform Pakistan about water flow or construction activities on its side. The flow and stoppage of the river will now be at India's discretion, a significant move considering Pakistan's agriculture-heavy economy heavily depends on this water source. Any disruption could have severe regional consequences. In addition to this, a ban was imposed on Pakistani actors and their social media handles to curb anti-India propaganda. Closure of mainland border at Atari Wagha border. Pakistan relies heavily on the Atari Wagha crossing for trade and is more dependent on it than India. Pakistani nationals on visas, including SARC visa holders, were given a few hours to leave the country. This action highlighted issues of illegal residency, especially individuals staying beyond visa expiry or obtaining forged documents to participate in Indian elections.
पिछले 20-30 सालों से रह रही हैं। हमने वोट भी कास्ट किया, हमारे हर एक डॉक्यूमेंट्स यहाँ के बने, आधार कार्ड है, इलेक्शन कार्ड है, राशन कार्ड है, हमारा डोमिसाइल है मेरी यहाँ की, बाकी सारे डॉक्यूमेंट्स मेरे बने। अब मैं यहाँ से कहाँ जाऊँगा?
Following Operation Sindoor, India took a decisive stand, not just on the battlefield, but across the global stage. In a powerful diplomatic initiative, 7 all-party delegations, including 59 political leaders, were dispatched to 32 countries worldwide. Their mission was clear: to represent India's national consensus and convey a unified message of zero tolerance against terrorism in all its forms. These delegations transcended domestic politics and showcased India's collective commitment to global peace and security. At the same time, India took note of nations indirectly enabling terrorism. Turkey, known for its growing defense cooperation with Pakistan, including combat drones and military tech, faced sharp diplomatic consequences. India responded by suspending key trade flows, halting Turkish tourism promotions, and freezing airport security partnerships, including Turkish firms operating in Indian infrastructure. Similarly, the use of Chinese-origin missiles like PL-15 and equipment by Pakistan-based groups came under scrutiny. China's indirect military support, while not new, reignited concerns over its role in destabilizing regional security. India made it clear: supporting terrorism, directly or indirectly, will have consequences. At the heart of this effort is not just defense, but diplomacy, with India rallying the world to stand together against terror, with facts, unity, and moral clarity. In the immediate aftermath of the Pahalgam terror attack, trade and diplomatic ties between India and Pakistan took a sharp downturn. Both nations scaled back diplomatic missions, with Pakistan recalling a significant portion of its staff. India too reduced Pakistan's diplomatic presence by half, reflecting the growing mistrust and breakdown in dialogue. Airspace restrictions soon followed. Flights between the two countries were either suspended or rerouted, severely impacting civil aviation and causing economic losses to airlines on both sides. Pakistan closed its airspace for 48 hours, while India suspended operations at 25 airports and halted civil flights in Srinagar. An IPL match was moved due to air restrictions. India blocked over 8,000 social media accounts citing security risks. Markets fluctuated but stabilized post-ceasefire. Pakistan later promoted General Asim Munir to Field Marshal. Amidst this, unverified reports surfaced, suggesting that Pakistan may have used civilian airline routes to assist military logistics, a tactic aimed at evading detection and potential strikes.
7 मई 2025 को रात 8:30 बजे एक असफल अकारण ड्रोन और मिसाइल हमला करने के बावजूद पाकिस्तान ने अपना नागरिक हवाई क्षेत्र बंद नहीं किया। पाकिस्तान अपने नागरिक विमानों को ढाल के रूप में इस्तेमाल कर रहा है।
Additionally, Pakistan's irresponsible behavior again came to fore. Pakistan did not close its civil airspace despite it launching a failed unprovoked drone and missile attack on 7th May at 8:30 hours in the evening. Pakistan is using civil airliners as a shield, knowing fully well that its attack on India would elicit a swift air defense response.
Such claims have raised concerns over the militarization of civilian infrastructure, a serious violation of international norms. This period marked a significant shift, not just militarily or diplomatically, but in public perception. People on both sides of the border were glued to their screens, receiving updates from conventional media, breaking news alerts, and trending hashtags. Media outlets, both national and global, often exaggerated casualty figures or rushed reports without verification. In many cases, numbers kept changing by the hour, creating confusion and mistrust. On platforms like Twitter and Instagram, fake profiles pretending to be Indian or Pakistani citizens added to the chaos, spreading misinformation, fabricated stories of martyrs, and false claims about weapons used. From India's side, the Press Information Bureau (PIB) stepped in to share verified updates, consistently fact-checking viral misinformation and debunking fake claims. While both sides reported damage and losses, only some provided tangible evidence, photos, videos, official reports. Others relied heavily on rhetoric and speculation. In a conflict driven not only by missiles but also by messages, information became the new front line. Pakistan's contradictory approach on the global stage was once again in focus. On one hand, its leadership often enters what many call denial mode, rejecting credible evidence of involvement in attacks like the 2008 Mumbai attacks and others. Yet on the other, Pakistan's own Defense Minister Khwaja Asif publicly acknowledged, during international interviews, that Pakistan had supported certain terror elements for decades as part of broader geopolitical games.
You admit, sir, that Pakistan has had a long history of backing and supporting and training and funding these terrorist organizations.
Well, we have been doing this dirty work for the United States for about 3 decades, and West, including Britain.
Jets shot down. Where's the evidence for that, sir?
It's all over the social media, on Indian social media, not on our social media.
When asked the same question in a later interview, he claimed the audio wasn't clear, reflecting a concerning inconsistency.
Can you show us evidence and do you have details on the attack?
Okay, I can't hear you properly. Could you increase the volume, please?
Yes, of course. Just let me know if you can hear me now, Minister.
Pakistan's leaders have often misled their own citizens, fueling false claims of military success, even while key airfields and strategic locations reportedly suffered heavy damage. In the aftermath, some were seen celebrating ceasefires, unaware of the actual cost. The frequent use of nuclear threats by Pakistani officials also raised eyebrows globally.
ये जो गोरी, शहीन, गजनवी, ये चौकों में सजाने के लिए नहीं हमने रखे हुए, ये हमने हिंदुस्तान के लिए रखे हैं.
As Prime Minister Modi stated in his national address, nuclear blackmail cannot be tolerated anymore.
कोई भी न्यूक्लियर ब्लैकमेल भारत नहीं सहेगा. न्यूक्लियर ब्लैकमेल की आड़ में पनप रहे आतंकी ठिकानों पर भारत सटीक और निर्णायक प्रहार करेगा।
Throughout the Operation Sindoor crisis, the Indian public received regular, transparent updates from the Ministry of External Affairs, led by Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri, alongside Colonel Sophia Qureshi and Wing Commander Vyomika Singh. These briefings weren't just about military facts or diplomatic responses, they reflected something far deeper. They symbolized India's evolving national identity, where women in uniform stood shoulder to shoulder in leadership roles, not just supporting the mission, but shaping it. Colonel Sophia Qureshi and Wing Commander Vyomika Singh became the faces of resilience, proving that national security knows no gender or religion, only courage, clarity, and conviction. In a country still healing from the Pahalgam terror attack, an attack that targeted innocent civilians and tore through families, Operation Sindoor became more than a military response. It was a message of justice. The operation's name, Sindoor, carries deep emotional significance, symbolizing the dignity and strength of women, especially those who lost loved ones in the attack. It was a vow that India would not let such pain go unanswered. In its response, India transcended religious divides, political affiliations, and social boundaries, uniting under one flag, one cause, the fight against terror. Following Operation Sindoor, Pakistan launched a retaliatory strike using air power, including Turkish-origin drones, fighter jets, UCAV attack and early warning radar systems. But India was ready. Backed by a layered air defense network, India deployed its Russian-origin S-400 system, Indo-Israeli MR-SAMs, legacy platforms like the Pekora and OSA-AK and indigenously developed Akash surface-to-air missile system. Together, these systems formed an invisible shield in the sky. Turkish and Chinese drones, launched from across the border, never made it to Indian airspace, intercepted and neutralized before they could pose any threat. The S-400, dubbed informally by analysts as India's Sudarshan Chakra, played a key role. In what is being called a breakthrough in air defense capability, the S-400 reportedly intercepted a hostile aerial target at a record range of 314 kilometers, a potential world record for a surface-to-air missile. But beyond the numbers, this was about something greater, India's self-reliance and readiness to defend its skies. Hundreds of incoming drones were destroyed mid-air, proving the synergy of foreign tech and indigenous innovation. This wasn't just defense, it was a signal: India's skies are protected by precision, preparation, and pride. In the early hours of May 10, India reportedly launched multiple precision-guided strikes on 11 key military locations across Pakistan, targeting critical air bases and infrastructure. Among the primary targets were Noor Khan Air Base in Chaklala Rawalpindi, Sukkur, Sargodha, Jacobabad, Bholari, Muridke, and Rahim Yar Khan Airport. These sites are known for housing advanced aerial assets and strategic installations. The strikes were said to be highly coordinated, using long-range missiles and advanced targeting systems for minimal collateral damage. In response, Pakistan launched its own retaliatory operation, reportedly codenamed Operation Banyan Almasis. Reports surfaced after the strikes on Kirana Hills, a sensitive site linked to Pakistan's past nuclear activities, claiming a possible radiation leak. While these rumors spread rapidly, no official confirmation was provided by either side and denied from the Indian side of any strike involvement.
Thank you for telling us that Kirana Hill houses some nuclear installation. We did not know about it. Okay. And we've not hit Kirana Hills, whatever is there. Okay, I did not brief in my briefing yesterday. Thank you.
On the 10th of May 2025, after days of escalating conflict, Pakistan's Director General of Military Operations, DGMO, reached out to his Indian counterpart. By 1700 hours IST, both sides agreed to a mutual ceasefire, ending hostilities across land, air, and sea. But the calm was short-lived.
For the last few hours, there have been repeated violations of the understanding arrived at earlier this evening between the Directors General of Military Operations of India and Pakistan.
Waves of small drones and UAVs from Pakistan violated Indian airspace, targeting both civilian and military zones. India's air defenses responded swiftly, intercepting every intrusion. Field commanders were given full authority to act decisively in case of further violations. Earlier that day, U.S. National Security Advisor Marco Rubio had spoken with both nations, urging the escalation. Yet, in a surprising twist, former President Donald Trump announced the ceasefire early on his Truth Social account, hours before any official confirmation from India or Pakistan. 3 hours later, Pakistan breached the ceasefire, prompting a measured Indian counter-strike. In the evening briefing, the Indian Ministry of External Affairs clarified that the ceasefire was the result of direct military-level engagement, not influenced by trade deals or third-party mediation, effectively denying US involvement.
There were conversations between Indian and US leaders on the evolving military situation. The issue of trade or tariff did not come up in any of those discussions. External Affairs Minister has also made clear that the cessation of firing was decided upon through direct contacts between the DGMOs of India and Pakistan.
Operation Sindoor wasn't just a military strike, it was a message, a tribute to the fallen, a stand for the living, and a reminder that India answers terror with resolve, not fear.